And we're going to be right into game 2 of High Councils and Wizards of High Council of Wizards and Priests, not Prizzards and Weasts, versus Ewolves, formerly known as Sector 5, Sector V, not 5. We are headed into game 2. High Councils of Wizards and Priests apparently took game 1. I didn't quite get to catch it, as you all saw. I was casting, but we'll hopefully get a good idea of what's going on here. Once again, I'm Llama Down Under. I'm joined by Mikelorus. How you feeling about watching these two teams?
I am very excited to actually watch High Council. I've been really busy with other tournaments, so I wasn't able to watch any of their games recently, but they've been doing pretty decently, and Ewolves, for the most part, old not today, more or less. Certainly no slouches, but it seems like the High Council, I mean, they took game 1, so they're obviously sitting pretty right now. I wish I could at least see their draft, but I can't actually find that anywhere.
Yeah, probably won't be updated on a lot of the places already. I'll check out if I know. Well, we can see what happened, but we have the immediate Slaughter ban out, so I'm guessing that had something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, as powerful as Slaughter is, first ban, probably not yet until he gets some sort of minor buff or the metagame really shifts.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Slaughter and the Alchemist, I'm not quite sure if they came into play. Maybe High Councils of Wizards and Priests already know that they wanted to run a lineup which would have suffered against the minus armor. So that's always a possibility. Instead, Ewolves going with the Queen of Pain. And I know Smash is a very well-famed mid player, so I imagine he's going to have a grand old time here.
Yeah, really, for Ewolves, it's a pretty solid startup against the Shadow Fiend, especially. For the most part, that lane matchup, assuming no extensive support rotations in, should be kind of close to 50-50. And then we have an Ember Spirit coming out from Ewolves. We've been seeing a lot of teams grab this hero very quickly. We have not been seeing a lot of teams grab this hero very quickly. Nyx Assassin, very rarely seen ever, let alone as a second pick.
Yeah, there's a couple of NA teams who like to run him as support or off lane. Root, I think Boreal does it occasionally, and apparently High Councils of Wizards and Priests do it now too. Interesting as well, Mason is drafting. I don't know if that means Just Me Things is Bleak or whether Bleak is not present at this current game. But Nyx Assassin, always good against the Queen of Pain, and he certainly is one of the few who can catch the Ember unaware and the Queen of Pain unaware. He's good against the Queen of Pain because of the mana burn, good against the Ember and Queen of Pain because you can stun out of assassinate, that's what you're called. Sorry, Vendetta. He can stun out of Vendetta. He can also, I think, if Ember Spirit has the Flame God active, can't you, like, proc Spiked Carapace, stay invisible, and then still get off one hit from Vendetta?
Yeah, you can get usually pretty easy initiations on the Ember Spirit. Like, even just the Impale out of Vendetta is a solid way of initiating. Whether or not you have any damage afterwards, well, you kind of have to analyze that situation by situation. But it's all about getting the surprise here with this Nyx Assassin. Surprise, surprise. I mean, his name is Nyx Assassin. Kind of has that built into it. But as far as guaranteed stuns, as far as answers to these heroes in the team fights, the Sonic Wave, or, running into a Carapace, that could be pretty bad. Ember Spirit, same thing. Nyx Assassin's stun is far from reliable in lane. So unless High Council want to grab, an abundance of play stunners like we saw in the last game, this Nyx Assassin is probably just going to go have a tough time. I mean, it's possible that they just grab like a Rubik or something and then have lift into Impale, which is, pretty good.
Yeah. So I like it. I'm sorry, I'm still just thinking about how the Nyx actually does so much work here that we often see people respond to the Queen of Pain or Earth Ember Spirit with a Disruptor or a Rubik maybe to stop and both of those heroes, to stop them jumping in on you. Both of those heroes kind of respond after the fact, whereas Nyx Assassin, it feels like, can kind of go beforehand. So I'm excited to see this. We've got also Spirit Breaker. So I know Spirit Breaker can cause a lot of harassment and so on and be a real pain in the arse. But I don't know if he's ban-worthy, right? Where does he go? If he's support, it seems like he doesn't get enough levels. He certainly can't solo off lane. He gets really pushed out of lane.
It is a little bit of an awkward situation to have like a double melee pseudo supporting, or at least like a utility kind of pool of heroes, but the upside of having Assassin and Spirit Breaker both relentlessly stalking their kills is so high. You do need maybe some other heroes to participate in that if you're trying to go for a harder to kill hero. Maybe it's Queen of Pain with an Aghanim Scepter or something like that. You, with the support, Spirit Breaker probably can't get that kill, but just the amount of pressure that High Council could have applied to Ewolves with that very aggressive scout, spot, and then kill off type of strategy is definitely a threat. But for Ewolves, they're going to grab a Gyrocopter third. Sports be damned. We got Undying Clockwork to be panned out by the High Council. But Ewolves working with some flexibility here, but a lot of late game scaling if that's necessary.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see as well. I feel like Ewolves has got huge amounts of magic damage. BKBs, it's something that Shadow Fiend, he can farm it really fast. So
10 seconds remaining.
just feels like you've picked 3 heroes that have a lot of magic damage. What are you going to do when they pick up BKBs in their 10 seconds?
Probably back off, try to bait that one out. Like, they have a lot of magic damage for Ewolves, and if they get into a full 5-on-5 engagement with Shadow Fiend having a fresh BKB, then they're kind of asking for it. They should be more so on the pickoff plan. That's also where these heroes really do excel. Ember Spirit, Queen of Pain, obviously with their mobility, but Gyrocopter with a single target burst can pressure the High Council side pretty darn hard. Like, the amount of pressure that these cores can apply is very high compared to someone like a Spectre, who is also, seen pretty frequently, semi-occasionally, but can't apply nearly the same pressure as an Ember Spirit or Gyrocopter.
Yeah. So, High Councils of Wizards and Priests, what are you thinking they can maybe pick up here? Okay, it's the Doxia. I was a little bit wondering whether it was going to be the offlane or support Nyx. This puts him firmly in the support Nyx camp. I also think we could see some cute combos. Of course, Nyx Assassin, you can, once he gets Vendetta, you can pop that Ion Shell on him. He can wander around. And Doxia is seeming pretty good as this game goes later and later, because of course Ewolves will have 3 very strong heroes, Queen of Pain, Earth Spirit, and Gyro.
It's also a lot easier than you may think to land a vacuum into an impale. That has a lot of upside, of course, for High Council, but their wombo combo is being built up. And Darkseer, though he is expected to take a lot of damage in the lane, especially if it's going to be someone like a Gyrocopter in mid, then yeah, he may have a slightly rougher time. But Nyx Assassin as support just needs any sort of play stun, like whether it's the Vengeful Spirit or a Rubik. Honestly, it doesn't really matter that much. Whoever's up on the top lane for Ewolves is going to be in for a rough time, as they do grab themselves a CM. I like this pick. She doesn't have a great time versus Nyx Assassin, far from it, but Gyrocopter, Ember, and Queen of Pain, all kind of mana-starved heroes.
Yeah. So gonna give them a lot more utility in lane. She's very squishy though. She's caught out of position. She will probably be stacking in the jungle, doing a little bit of the jungle herself with that Frostbite. I worry that Doxia will just catch her unawares, Ion Shell up, Surge. CM doesn't have a lot of ways to escape. So
He's as swift as some certain wolves.
The wolves of Ice Rack, which are apparently endangered because they can't get away from other predators. So, or can't catch their own prey. We're not sure what's going on there. A nice Skyrath pickup from High Council of Wizards and Priests. Of course, well known as a good counter to Queen of Pain with the Ancient Seal's Silence, but I mean, actually, he should be able to do some good Roman gank here.
10 seconds remaining.
Or at the very least, apply pressure, like Ember Spirit, Gyrocopter, low range. Well, Ember Spirit's melee. Crystal Maiden can't really fight back effectively with the Skyrath Mage. She may throw a Frostbite, and if Skyrath Mage gets way too far out, then he may just get blasted by the Gyrocopter. But just the spam out of those bolts, keeping the Queen of Pain back, keeping really any given hero back, has a lot of value here. The problem with this hero right now is that he does not offer that setup stun for this Nyx Assassin. So if they are looking to lock down their lane and actually kill off their lane, it's going to be much more difficult than if the Skyrath Mage was anyone with the disable. Although, if you do get Silence into Impale, yeah, you're probably going to get the kill.
Yeah, I think they are a very powerful dual roaming combo, and I'm excited to see that with maybe smokes or something. I am also, though, still not sure. I mean, what do you go as a hard carry here for High Council? They're bound out the Slark. I know that's a hero Mason is very comfortable with. He's also comfortable with the Weaver here, and while there's a bit of minus armor synergy, I don't know, I still really like a Spectre here. While she has to be a bit worried about the quap, it feels like she could get a lot of space since both Ember wants to kind of farm. Gyrocopter, you can see him coming at you dagger away.
I mean, they have the luxury of being able to look at Ewolves' last pick to know how aggressive they really are going to be. Because with these cores, like, they can do pretty well into the mid-late game, but they can also, if they want to, go turbo aggressive early on. The Disruptor Ban is going to protect the Darkseer in that offlane. That's, a pretty basic ban for the High Council side. But it's definitely not too late for Ewolves to grab a hero and then just aggressively slanted hero and then just try to get those kills non-stop. Partner with the Crystal Maiden Gyrocopter, or just have a Gyrocopter +1 combo, and let the Crystal Maiden go ahead and jungle. And that's also something that we very frequently see. A hero's going to be decided in just 8 seconds. Someone like a Venomancer would be someone that might panic High Council a little bit. Ooh.
And it's the Mirana. We get to see her twice in a row for us. I'm excited. I'm hoping she has a bit of a better game than the previous Mirana. But I don't know. It felt like last time as a support Mirana, didn't have too much impact. Yeah, it's the Brood. That made a lot of sense. They don't have a lot of clear... do you think she's going to get arrows? Feels like there's a bit more setup.
I mean, if she's going to be ganking into the Ember Spirits lane, there is some potential setup there. Although as Shadow Fiend, you should probably be prepared for that more often than not. Crystal Maiden's Frostbite setup for the Mirana, kind of narrow, although this Broodmother pick is going to be 9 times out of 10 going off lane. Darkseer, 9 times out of 10 going off lane as well. They're going to be running with some unconventional lanes here.
I just
maybe even like a...
it was mid Broodmother.
Yeah.
No, wait. So, Demon is playing support
I don't know
now?
who Just Me thinks...
It probably isn't
that...
Bleak then. I don't understand quite what's going on. We're in game 2, folks. We jumped onto this. I'm not sure what exact roster this is. Let me quickly check something, because somewhere else I may be able to see the roster if I'm a cool cat. Maybe somebody else posted it? Oh, I do finally have Lost Games draft, but yeah, they have no idea who this player is. And it looks like Demon
Could
has
be
been...
anyone.
Yeah. It looks like both this game and Lost Demon was regulated to support. And last game they actually played Mason on the Nyx Assassin, so anything could happen. We have no idea. Which team would you like to introduce?
I will introduce the High Council of
Excellent.
Wizards and Priests, which I think the Skywrath Mage is going to fit perfectly well in, as will the Darkseer. We got the Demon Skywrath Mage. Mason is on said Darkseer. Just Me things. We're still not sure who this is, but it's on the Broodmother. Got Just on the Shadow Fiend, and Fog is on the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah. So then on the side of Ewolves, we've got Mystico on that CM. Smash is going to be playing up his very well-known Ember Spirit. Mirana on Masuka. Quap going to that off lane, played by Stinger. And finally, Gyrocopter, played by Van. Let's say this game goes super late. I think I'm favoring Ewolves, just because it feels like they have a couple more right-click damage cores than just a Battle Brood and SF. What are your thoughts?
I like the potential for Ewolves to go very aggressive right now. However, that's kind of countered by the fact that High Council have heroes that can just get pickoffs and get nuts out of control. Broodmother and Shadow Fiend specifically, if you give them an inch, they will take the entire map. And the likes of Nyx Assassin, Skywrath Mage are pretty much the exact same. So there's a lot of upside here for High Councils to just get snowballed out of control. But at the same time, it can be said for Ewolves, this Mirana is going to be a determining hero in that. Obviously, the more arrows you land, the better, no matter what game. But if they can slow down High Councils, put them on the defensive, it's going to be huge. Arrows going to fly.
Just off the mark. They'll do a little bit of damage into Smash, but he should be just fine here. Actually, though, they've got the Frostbite coming out onto Demon. They don't have another arrow for 6 seconds, so I think we're calming down. Something else I wanted to mention is Justin plays a lot of Shadow Fiend. It's something where most teams ban it against him, so I'm surprised he's getting it again. And they're still doing business up here, actually. It looks like taking a lot of damage on Justin. Now CM may be in trouble of taking some more Arctic bones, but not Arctic bones. Arctic bolts, but that's not it either. It's Arcane Bolt. Wrong hero, wrong spell. But by the way, another arrow thrown completely off the mark. Do you think, I mean, we saw last game Mirana had a lot of trouble hitting those arrows. If she gets one in mid, it's a very dead SF.
There's nothing that Justin can do, and there's very little that his buddies can do. Like, what is a Nyx Assassin or a Skywrath Mage going to do? Once Smash is right in the Shadow Fiend's face, burning him down with the Flame Guard, if the arrow lands, it's pretty much going to be insta-kill. So it's going to be, of course, up to Justin to keep his eyes open. Maybe an Observer Ward would help here, although it doesn't seem like he's going to be getting that from his allies. Masoku, how accurate are you so far? Another arrow's gonna fly.
Oh,
right
he
on the
did it.
body.
There's gonna be a Searing Chains, and this is gonna be a very dead Justin. Actually holding the Searing Chains. He doesn't even... Oh, that's a little bit rude, Smash. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he just walked away. He knew the Flame Guard would get it. Most people auto-attack. There's gonna be some Arcane Bolts out now, but Smash still has the Searing Chains. He might just trap whoever comes in the creep wave, but of course, Justin should have some razors, and a nice first blood for him. We were just talking about the Mirana. She did it.
Yeah, land, arrow, get kills. Pretty easy. And
No, it's
the
throw
same
arrow,
can-
hit arrow. Come on. Come on.
No, I'm saying yeah, this is different. You land the arrows, then you immediately get the kills. Because even if you throw an arrow in any normal game, that's no guarantee you get the kill. But this one, it almost is. Like, even on top lane, if you land an arrow on, well, maybe not the Starks here, but definitely an Assassin, the Queen of Pain can get enough damage very easily to kill that hero off. And same thing for bottom. You just buzz them down with the Rocket Barrage
I
if
missed
they had vision.
that kill. I do not know how Smash just killed again because I was watching up in the top lane. So I believe tours is what we all say now. And yeah, sorry about that, folks. It looks like they've taken out Justin again. Apparently,
Arrow.
you can beat Justin, just off the mark onto Demon. But you can certainly beat someone who's very good on the Shadow Fiend if you keep killing them. Do you want to talk about what do you think is going to happen in this bottom lane with Gyro Broodmother? I feel like Gyro just gets overrun, maybe, as the levels progress.
Yeah, it's not super bad right now, but once level 6-7 comes up for the Broodmother, then things get worse.
Oh,
Demon
Searing
again.
Chains
Oh,
on
man.
mid. Demon's gonna go down. Nothing he can do to run out of that bone. And the arrow to finish him off. Bazooka making sure he gets some damage out. And yeah, Justin not even going for the raises, knowing he's only got level 1 in that. So he actually has, yeah. Now he hit level 2. There we go. I was wondering where it was going, where the skill was. So what do you do to salvage this mid lane? Clearly Smash is having a golden old time. We have a phrase in Australia that I guess we don't say over here. But he's what, double?
Bottom.
Oh gosh. What's happening down bottom?
I
Oh,
don't
the
know why
gyrocopter.
Ben's here.
He should be able to TP out. Does the spider spit? No, she doesn't go for it. I'm a little bit
Doesn't have mana.
surprised. No, she... Okay, maybe she didn't. I thought the soul ring was wearing off, but you're right. She probably didn't have mana, and that explains a lot. What do you do to get back into mid lane?
You probably don't try to overcommit onto Smash, especially since, given all these kills, he is so much further ahead than any Ember Spirit really should be. He'll have his level 6 soon, so killing him off is going to be pretty much impossible. You have to just kind of hope that Justin doesn't die anymore and stack up the jungle for him to recover himself. He's not going to get very easily up to the net worth of the Ember Spirit, but if he stops dying and gets some stacks in the jungle, then he can kind of balance it out. Although if he gets jumped like this, that's not good. He's going to try to fight back, but it's not going to happen.
He keeps being a little bit out of position, and you can't do that against an Ember Spirit. Again, just catching the end of it, that's the story I'm going with, folks. You just... An Ember Spirit will punish you heavily. He's actually got very weak laning presence, but of course has a bunch of kills here. Skywrath picks up a haste rune, I think the only way he survives there. But he's got a bunch of kills, and if he catches you out of position, he's got the level advantage. Flame Guard does a huge amount of damage, as does Searing Chains.
Right now, this Ember Spirit is getting off to a monstrous start. Our bottom lane is kind of in shambles. Broodmother is going to demolish that one with the rest of her little army. And now we have Van taking the reins over in mid. Has Misco right around the corner. Going for Fogged is not easy because by Carapace, but it is possible. Especially since his Impale is now down. Frostbite.
Just a little bit of
Harassment.
harass. I'm surprised as you. I expect them to do something now. The CM, she's not worried at all, and I don't think Fogged wants to come up with the Ember Spirit so present. I also don't know if it looks like Queen of Pain took quite a bit of damage from the Ion Shell. I don't know if this was a case of there's a server advantage now for Ewolves or vice versa. We can check in a second. It looks like
I don't think this is US East. I didn't really look at that.
yeah, I can actually check with my ping. I just don't want to miss any action, so I'll do it a bit later. Smash way up on mid lane, just knowing that Fogged can't really do anything to him. And they're actually farming up all of this Radiant jungle, so at least the Broodmother is well ahead. I'm going to switch over to net worth, just because with all the kills and Broodmother killing jungle creeps, the lost hit's not telling the truth. So she is having a fantastic game. She can snowball, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe
So-
not to the degree of, say, a super farmed Ember Spirit, but yeah, the potential for her to snowball is there. The problem is that Justin is really the late game scaling here for High Council, and he's having like an absolutely dreadful time over in the mid lane. He's behind the enemy Gyrocopter. The rest of his team doing pretty well. Like Mason's pushing out top, and Broodmother's having a fantastic time. In fact, going for Van again.
I think Smash just given him the scare actually probably wanted something since Stinger was there, but now Broodmother, she picks off bottom, and they actually had, again, because I thought mid was going to be some action, they actually have Dust coming out already onto CM, but she isn't going to be able to latch anything. They're going again, are they going to get the Searing Chains do latch? There's going to be an Impale, but it's completely off the mark, and they might be able to, no, they can't quite kill her. Now they might get Fogged as well. He does drain all the mana, but a Sonic Wave. That's a very dead Nyx Assassin. It felt like they thought one Remnant was down, not maybe thinking he would be willing to commit so many.
The High Council side is in a little bit of trouble right now, a little bit more so if Broodmother gets popped here. Smash is invis, and Nisco is just dead right now to the Spiderlings, but
She didn't
damage.
actually get, yeah, she dies to the Spiderlings. I don't know if they can catch her here. The Searing Chains didn't latch, has a Remnant. Oh, not going to use it in the right position. There's going to be the Gyrocopter, though, and with the Scream as well, they got this. So they finally take her down. They'll actually get a nice amount of gold, just because she is the top net worth. But they did lose CM.
Yeah, it's a fine trade, though, for Ewolves. It's Crystal Maiden. She's bound to die. Whenever you pick CM, you're pretty much resigning yourself to that. The problem is for... Yeah, they push out Masoku. They are getting all the good amounts of farm on all the wrong heroes. Like Broodmother, Darkseer aren't really heroes that you want to have be super wealthy. You want your Shadow Fiend to be super wealthy because he can win the game by himself. But, I mean, like, you get a faster mech. You get, like, a Dagon or something in the Broodmother, or Radiance even. We've seen so many different builds on her. Pretty much no matter what she gets, it's not really going to hold a candle to the scaling power of this Smash Ember.
Yeah, it's concerning. I don't know whether the split push build... She's got a Midas, so not revealing much. Actually just going to spawn more babies for Van to have to deal with. I don't know if the fighting build or the split push build is right. As you said, it feels like she can't have as much impact as the Shadow Fiend if he were online. And
Gyro.
yeah, gonna be taking quite a lot of damage. Has the Arctic Ancient Seal coming out, and they're just gonna spit him off to death with the Broodmother spawn Spiderlings. I think of it as a little bit of a spit. It feels like Broodmother needs someone else to be making space around the map for her, and right now she's making space around the map for people. She needs people busy so she can push down this bottom lane.
Take a quick look at this jungle right now of the High Council. They have only single stacks there, so this Shadow Fiend, pretty much what you see is what you get. His acceleration is going to be non-existent in this game. Nyx Assassin, fortunately for High Council, is almost at level 6, so the ability for that hero to kick
Oh,
into
Queen
gear
of
is
Pain
definitely
has
there.
caught SF, and they just actually touch each other a little bit and then calm down. A raise and a scream for each of them, but Gyrocopter's coming in. There's gonna see a Skyrath as well. Does use the Ancient Seal on the Queen of Pain. There's a cooldown though. It's gonna hit at least on Skyrath. He's very dead. Takes the full Rocket Barrage to the face, but now here comes Broodmama, and she has a million spiders. They're all slowed by CM, but I think she's still dead. No, Sonic Wave killing all of them off, and they can see the Broodmother. She's gonna go down as well. A fantastic trade for Ewolves. Can they catch anybody else on the backlines? I don't think so. Nyx does have Vendetta, so just gonna probably stun up. They may actually kill Gyro's dead. Just takes more raises to the face. Slash has a haste. Can he do any sort of follow-up? He does get the Searing Chains off, but he needs to wait for that Flame Guard CD. Oh, the arrow from super far away. Mirana, well played, Masuko. He's gonna go down. Let's see if Mirana gets anything else. No, I don't know. Does he have a Remnant? Smash does have another Remnant. Decides not to dive a tier 1. Always dangerous to dive those because of the TB rotation. Smash already has a gem, by the way.
And counter to the Nyx Assassin, counter to that Broodmother, lets you get her Spiderlings, and that is going to probably make the gem pay for itself. I honestly don't see Smash dying really anytime soon. The Seal Flare combo is a threat, but one that Smash should be able to deal with kind of effectively as long as he sees the enemies coming and as long as he has that backup Remnant available. Yeah, Ewolves, they lose their Gyrocopter, and he's not having the grandest time. They're putting a lot of weight onto this Ember Spirit's back, but that seems like a decent hero to have it. Up towards top, Van.
Yeah, he
Just
takes it.
stun
I don't know
himself.
if Fogged is going to go for it. Van, I don't think was aiming for the Nyx, but he got the Nyx. Then, of course, he pops that Spike Carapace, and now he might have chewed on more than he can. But the concussive shot just is going to slow things down. I really like this early gem pickup. I am a little bit scared for Ember Spirit because the Ancient Seal is instant cost point, so it kind of comes down to quicker fingers, but you're right, he should be able to see it and remnant away. Is he going to go
Mason.
for the Searing Chains? Oh gosh, there's the Vacuum immediately! I don't know if that was for farming or for ganks, but he gets a Searing Chain on both, but there is the beautiful Mystic Flare coming out and Smash taking huge amounts of damage. The Flame God is gone. Gyrocopter does manage to pick up Nyx Assassin. Can she follow Mason? He's invisible. My gender pronouns are hard, and no, it's gonna be instead Smash working on this. Oh, Skyrath is dead. Takes remnants to the face. Queen of Pain. I don't think he got anybody there either. The Queen of Pain came in to see if she could follow up. So, again, another good team fight from Ewolves, and it is 12-4. They were at a deficit because of the Broodmother, I think, and now they're up, way up. So 1,500 gold ahead, getting a 3k gold swing in the past 4 minutes or so.
And we could see like how fast this game went from kind of even to Smash is out of control. Things are super bad for High Council.
Yeah.
As far as their ability to fight from behind, it's really not that great. Like, they have a little bit of wombo combo with the Shadow Fiend Requiem, but even then he's completely flat broke. He has boots, and that's it. Like, you need more than that to deal with this Ember Spirit who's closing on his
Let's
battle
see.
theory. It's just 11 minutes. They're going to try to go for
Oh, they missed the impale,
what?
and that should be the end of things. Missing that impale. It's...
I think he was
not-
running out of vendetta.
Dire's top tower
Yeah.
is under attack.
He's
Radiant's middle tower
pretty unfortunate, but that's what happens. Broodmother, in the meantime, is still getting huge. She is a big broodmother. She's going the Dagon. Okay, that was... I think Stinger really wanted the baby lings there. Unfortunate that he wasted it. And now, can they get in position for an Ancient Seal? They're hoping Stinger moves over, but I don't think she would do that. She's actually taking
jeez.
Dagon to the face and the spit. Holy cow, I didn't think she would fall that fast.
Yeah, I thought the Queen of Pain would live longer as well, but the rest of the team, they're still ready to go. They're smoked up right behind Smash.
Oh gosh, they're going. The CM is probably going to take a fall, but a big cooldown. Gonna land, gonna kill off most of those spiders. Smash is going in as well. Fog just stunned. He gets... Oh, he takes the arrow to the face. The spiked carapace wore off, and now they're hunting Broodmother. I don't know if they can catch her, but they certainly... Oh, she walks up onto the high ground before they can. Smash might be able to see her. This team fight Bulldog... Demon's gonna be caught out of position, and now CM just using that ult is gonna be silenced up, but it's too little too late, and they get the Broodmother. Feeling like High Council of Wizards and... Oh, they do manage to pick off Mystico. But I don't think... Okay, Smash just walks through. Queen of Pain's gonna be there. Does she have the dot? Yeah, she does have the slow. Mason's probably gonna fall. Does pop the mech, but there's a lot of damage coming out on here, and his Surge is about to wear off. An arrow off the mark. There is a rocket flare coming for him. Smash has the Sleight of Fist coming up, and he's not... Oh... He gets killed by a neutral creep. Well played, Mason.
Radiant's top tower
I mean, yeah,
is under
that's
attack.
good for High Council.
Overall,
that they didn't lose the Darkseer, but
Yeah.
they still get absolutely demolished in that fight. Just walking into a 3-man calldown like that, and just like with that in and of itself, you're probably not going to win this early on. Shadow Fiend was forced to leave so early because he really didn't have anything to do there. Like, throw out your raises, and raises don't really have a super long cooldown, but you can't always keep your distances up against a Queen of Pain, up against an Ember Spirit. It's just not going to happen. So
And speaking
High
of
Council's
Ember,
just not fighting with their full crew.
he is ganking with the invis from Mirana. There he goes. He's going to use that Searing Chains. He's going to kill off Justin probably again. He's trying to use the Requiem of Souls. That would be a nice play, but they have more than enough damage. But here comes the Mystic Flare. Where's it going to be dropped? Demon hasn't dropped it yet. In Smash, he was silenced up with the Ancient Seal, but now he's just going to Remnant away. I think they've missed their opportunity to regoose. Fog is still going in,
Arrow.
but the arrow's going to hit Demon. He's down to 100 health. Was 99 health. One more auto attack will do it. And unfortunately not seeming to make things latch on this Skywrath Mage. I felt like they had it with the Ancient Seal. It's a really long silence, especially since he's leveling it, but he didn't drop the Mystic Flare or anything afterwards.
Now, even if you do the Mystic Flare at this point, it's no guarantee that you actually get the kill. It's 600 damage, which is a hell of a lot with the Flare especially, but they're going to jump for Van, impale him, vacuum him back, chain stun him perfectly. Not like it really matters if they chain stun him. Gyrocopter was way too far out, but still, it's High Council's getting something. It's, again, getting something on the wrong heroes. They need the Shadow Fiend to start getting some of these kills and getting some blood on his hands instead of just dying all the time.
Now, he is one of the few heroes that can farm back up. It's feeling late, but we're really only 15 minutes in. It's something where if they do start stacking now, Shadow Fiend can certainly take economy very quickly.
Dire's top
He can
tower
also
is
always
under
raise
attack.
down creep waves. He's actually
Dire's
headed
top tower has fallen.
into their opponent's jungle, I think hoping that it will be a safe place to farm.
It probably is a lot safer than anywhere else. You have wards, however, everywhere for the Radiant because they were looking for the Broodmother. So, like, in theory, it would be safe, but the Broodmother kind of made it not safe for Justin. But the Broodmother, I guess, can provide some protection in that whoever she sees is going to get a blast of, what, 300, plus another 5, plus maybe sealed up.
They're
That's
taking it
almost
for...
insta-kill.
Bottom tower
Yeah.
is under attack.
They're about to run into a bunch of people, though. What is happening here? They've found the Nyx Assassin, but they're all stunned out by an impale. Here comes Mason. Can he get the wall vacuum of dreams? And it looks like this team fight's going to be shaping up, but they're just throwing the Spiderlings at them. I think High Councils of Wizards and Priests deciding maybe they're not level enough, but the Searing Chain Smash gets it off. There's going to be an arrow. Skywrath is already dead. No Ancient Seal going to be here. Mason trying to just surge out, but I think Justin's going to get caught. Mirana tries to use the... Oh, a beautiful wall vacuum, but Mason, I don't think it's enough, and now he's frostbitten up. Fog tries to use a nice impale. It's not quite the job. And Masuka is already on top of them, even though she has that moonlit shadows, and they're just gonna catch out Justin. He does blow up, killing the CM, but that's not enough. Fogged, Searing Chains, he's gonna just get auto-attacked down. Another disastrous team fight. Oh, look at the CM illusion. There's a nice little Dagon from Just Me things. Will he be able to get out of this? They still, of course, have the gem very fast in that vision. Can Smash get the Searing Chains? Sleight of Fist combo off. Doesn't look like he's even gonna go for it. They will take this 4-for-2 trade. And
Loki's
just
gonna
me
get
things.
sealed on
Oh.
his leap out.
Yeah,
Demon is
Skyrath
walking
is
into
coming.
the hornet's nest.
Oh, Smash is just gonna go in. There is the Broodmother ult popped, but Smash just walking it off. And a beautiful arrow again on Demon. He can't get in range. He does get the concussive shot onto Masuka. Does she have anything? She's just gonna try to TP. The Dagon is off cooldown in 1 second. Doesn't even need it. Uses that spawn Spiderlings. And actually, a good team fight for High Council.
Yeah, they end up making it a good team fight by the end of it, but the fact of the matter still stands is that they are lacking an answer for Smash. He's 9, 0, and 10, which is, again, never a score an Ember Spirit really should have, but the score that Ember Spirit really wants. They land all of their stuns pretty well. I mean, that was a pretty big Requiem. That was a very good wall and vacuum combo, but you need something
he landed
under
the
that.
Searing Chains. How are they gonna follow up on Just Me things? They might even see Red Demon. I'm gonna call him Red Bull. Oh, I think they're gonna kill off Just Me things. Oh, she tries to use the Dagon to go and Mystico, but Mystico gonna just drop that freezing field, doing a lot of damage to everything. Even though she's standing in the Mystic Flare, Demon is caught out. Do they have any more stuns? It doesn't look like it. Demon's gonna be fine. I just wanted to say that Smash had a 16-minute, maybe even before that, Battle Fury. I believe this patch, the average timing is 25 minutes. It might be 22, but I believe it was up to after last patch. So, yeah, Smash is doing godlike. Not only in kills.
Yeah, like literally godlike display from Smash right now. The Broodmother's not too far away from Smash's net worth, which, you know, all credit to the Brood. She is getting her net worth up there. With the Dagon Blast, we can see that she is doing some work, but definitely not as consistently as the Ember Spirit, who just can go for kill after kill after kill, whereas the Broodmother needs to wait a little while before she gets that secondary kill. And still for High Council, they have a Darkseer who has the mech, nothing else really aside from that. Maybe Guardian Greaves soon. Shadowfiend's going for Just Assange, doesn't even have that one yet either. The fights are going, like, it seems like kind of well for High Council, but they're just not getting the kills on the correct targets right now.
Yeah. So looking around, what do you go here? If you're Smash, you Sanj and Yasha, you just BKBing it up. Nothing's gonna touch you now.
Yeah, probably. Then you actually just, like, won't lose your kill streak ever.
Yeah, a lot of Embers don't want to go BKB here, but BKB, they would prefer to go things like the Manta to purge off silences, but I think it's beautiful here. There's a lot of magical damage, which, yeah, you can soak it with your Flame Guard, but there's also a bunch of weird stuns. Whenever you're up against a Darkseer, BKB feels beautiful to deal with the wall vacuum combo, so hoping he goes that. Could be Sanj Yasha still. And Queen of Pain, I'm not sure. I assume this is an Aghanim Scepter to deal with spiders. She seems to like to blow that quickly on the spiders.
It actually doesn't really pay for itself necessarily just by killing off spiders. I mean, it might, maybe, but a BKB on her wouldn't go amiss either. She's gone for a very unorthodox Queen of Pain build in this mechanism. It's something we don't often see, but then again, Stinger was up towards top lane, didn't really have, like, the priority for the farm, and, you know, not a big deal that she has to go for this budget build. As long as she can keep in these fights with Smash and separate the focus from High Council, maybe force the Broodmother to choose between, do I Dagon Blast the Queen of Pain or do I try to go for Smash, then this Queen of Pain is going to be getting value.
Yeah, and I really like it, as you mentioned. Not what we see usually, but she was off lane, and I think they need a mech, right? They can fight much earlier than they probably could have with this mech. Queen of Pain forms, well, seems good. So, lot of fun there. Let's take a look around on High Council of Wizards and Priests. Yes, they're at a almost 4,000 deficit, but they're still in this. 4,000 means that your opponents maybe have 1 or 2 items over you, like full completed items, but you're not out of it yet by any means. Justin looking like he's going for Assange and Yasha. I think he does need to desperately tank up, so it makes a lot of sense.
And it's a very easy build-up, very cheap items. Usually not a high priority for Shadowfiend, because he's usually just filthy rich all the time. But in this game, when you're this poor, you kind of have to go for, I guess, the more budget-y build. It just so happens that SMY's picked up whether or not you're getting a lot of farm. But yeah, it is still just pretty far away from completion, and still doesn't solve all of the problems for the High Council side. They need him to survive a fight, a successful fight. And that is a lot to ask for the Shadowfiend at this point.
Yeah. Arrow just missing the Skywrath, and Queen of Pain chilling in the Roshan pit. I don't think Ewolves can do an early Roshan. Actually, she's going on Just Me things, Searing Chains. I don't know if they used a Dagon out onto Quap. She needs to get out of there using that mech effectively. And now Smash, he is just standing way up there. TPs were yeah, both get cancelled. So I thought Quap was in a spot of trouble with her aggressive play in there, but apparently not.
And that's the problem with this Broodmother right now. She can pop someone like CM really quickly. Clearly can't go for the Queen of Pain there, but once she does that combo, she's out. Like, she will back off and has to hope that the fight is still gonna last long enough so that she can get another Dagger Blast and another Spawn Spiderlings. And I don't think her allies really can do that. In theory, they should be able to, because of, you know, it's Darkseer, it's Shadow Fiend. You would expect them to be a little bit further ahead than they are right now, but they can't really stall out the fight for long enough to get the Broodmother another volley of Dagon Broodlings, or Spiderlings rather. So they'll just crumble while the Broodmother has her combo down.
Now they're trying to smoke catch anybody out who was retreating, but a lot of them TP'd, both the Ember and the Gyro, and CM is probably going to TP out. She might walk. Oh, she picked up a piece. She's going down. Goodbye. Yeah, there we go. Finally the Impale. She did get to buy out mostly though, so that's a saving grace for her. Of course, still a very good kill for High Councils of Wizards and Priests. They get over 1,000 gold for one kill at this point in the game. So.
Yeah, the CM worth a lot.
Yeah. Are you just
Those are words that you will never hear again, by the way, but hey, at
She's
this point
fourth.
for High Council, anything.
Fourth to lost? I don't think I've seen a CM be fourth to lost. What do you do as High Council? Are you just waiting for Ewolves to make a mistake when they siege high ground? I mean, I'm not sure. They tried for a smoke gank there. Yeah, they caught one. Maybe not the one they wanted. They're stalking Masuka here. I don't know if they can catch him. Masuka, of course, has a leap. I also hear a Gyrocopter cooldown. There's action in... No, they're just trying to kill the spiders. And Mirana leaps away before the Impale hits her. So...
Action shot right there from Mirana for sure, but hey, don't look at the explosion and you'll be certainly very cool. For High Council, they are being doubled up in kills right now. I guess their tower situation is... I mean, that's actually looking pretty bad as well. They've only taken one. They've lost all but two at this point, and Ewolves probably have enough power to brute force these towers if they really wanted to. Misko's tasked with defending. He probably can't do that very well because it's Crystal Maiden.
She can Freezing Field and then get Ancient Sealed. It's
Glimmer
be
Freezing
crying.
Field is actually legit, but you have Impale and Spike Carapace, so...
But they have to find their center first. So, yeah, she's just gonna
Oh,
chill.
how's them?
Yeah. They gotta chill and back, and instead there are gonna be maybe some TPs, but this tower looking like it's very close to falling. Yeah, Shadow Fiend getting ready to Requiem of Souls over whoever came in, so this is gonna be just a split tier 2 for tier 2, and given where High Councils of Wizards and Priests is, fantastic.
And yeah, if you're behind pretty much ever and you're able to make even trades, whether that's tier 1 for tier 1, tier 2 for tier 2, racks for racks if they can, that'll be amazing for them. Then you're going to be really happy. But for Ewolves, that's kind of fine. They could absorb a small loss, and it's not even like a direct loss because they still get the golden experience. And then just keep on trucking, like going for this tier 2. If they see anyone come in here for High Council, they will not hesitate to jump, especially if an arrow is going to land. Like, if an arrow lands, that hero is, again, just dead.
Okay, so Broodmother is building more
Justin.
Dagons. Oh yeah, it looks like Justin getting caught out again. Sonic Wave as well as the cooldown. And he blows up like a pumpkin after Halloween. Because you put it in liquid nitrogen. That's what we always do. And then hit them with baseball
Really?
bats. Yeah.
That's freaking awesome. I've never heard anyone do that before, and I want to do that.
Yeah, it's what we do.
We just throw ours out, shit.
Yeah, no, you should really do better stuff. Anyway, not important. We're gonna have a tier 2 go down. I want to talk about this Broodmother Dagon. I don't quite understand why she's upgrading it.
I mean, once you get it as Broodmother, you're kind of in the I'm just gonna take one person out of the fight kind of game plan. And right now, like, we could see she's just asserting her dominance in the enemy jungle as per normal Broodmother things. If any single hero tries to stop this, they will get popped by this Dagon, and that is gonna keep her safe to get her next item. In which case, even if the Dagon doesn't do it, who knows, the Orchid, the Necrobook, the Radiance, the MKB, that item will get the kill afterwards. Like Queen of Pain, what she's doing right now, she can get punished pretty hard, at least forced out of this lane very easily by this Broodmother's build.
So, yeah, liking that once you explain it all. The Broodmother, she's a bit on the run. Is the courier gonna go down? Queen of Pain needs 3 auto attacks, and oh my goodness, they're running the into the courier. This Zebra, I think it's going down. It's a dead Zebra. I hate to see animal cruelty as a llama, but I guess it's nighttime. Maybe the courier didn't see the Queen of Pain. I'm really confused. I feel like she must have seen it, but now Queen of Pain having to deal with the spiderlings being spawned. Broodmother gonna TP out.
Yeah, the Broodmother needs to keep herself alive at this point. She's worth so much, and her build is super, super fragile with absolutely no health involved. They're looking for her. Unfortunately for Ewolves, there is no more spider in the area. Only tiny ones, and those don't really count too much. Although, the more gold, the better. They really want this Broodmother. But she's gone, guys.
This is
so calm
fantastic,
down.
though. They have
Yeah.
Broodmother has wasted about 30 seconds of their time. That is more time for Justin on this Shadow Fiend to farm. I think it's fantastic that she
created.
has made. Yeah, she's made that space because they have to wait on Justin. They have to hope that Doxia gets perfect wall vacuum combos to put Ewolves' strength against them because otherwise I don't see a hope.
On Ewolves, their momentum is kind of stopped by the fact that they don't really have an absolutely great side at killing Roshan. They have the Gyrocopter with the lifesteal, so he can do it kind of safely, but very, very slowly. They have no minus armor, no medallion or anything like that, so killing off Roche to grab the Aegis to therefore go for the high ground push is going to be very
I don't know if
difficult
you just
for
saw
Ewolves.
the arrow. They landed an arrow on Fogged, I think max length. I think it was a casual jungle scouting arrow. Fogg took it to the face.
No, I saw Smash and Stinger get like at least a dozen Spiderlings, so free cash.
Yes, at the average timing for Ember Spirit having a Battle Fury, he already has a crit on top of that and a BKB. So, well played, Smash. Well played. So, you mentioned they don't have a good Roche lineup. Do you think you just sack someone to go a medallion, make sure that you can do the Roshan? Because this high ground
Demon.
siege doesn't get the
Demon's
Searing
just
Chains.
dead.
I don't know if it matters. Yeah, I think he
He
didn't
kind of
realize.
stood still there.
Yeah, maybe he was buying out. He thought he was dead no matter what. Thought Smash would get the Searing Chains.
He didn't even buy out though.
Oh.
I mean, now he gets a gem, so it doesn't really matter they lost the gold, but still, at least make it look like you're trying to escape. Ewolves are now going to go into the Roche Pit with a double damage rune on Stinger.
Yeah.
That'll solve most of those problems, and for High Council, they have no web set up right now. Their split push status right now is pretty much non-existent. I don't think they could get here in time, although it is... The Roshan is starting to slow down.
Yeah. No medallion making this slow work. They're gonna eventually get it, but as you pointed out, it is a long Roshan, and they finally get it. They put it on Smash, of course. He is their... Yeah, he's still holding the gem, so... Actually, this is fine because he has bots. And I think... Is this a Desperation Smoke?
It kind of has to be. You never really want to fight the enemy once they grab their Aegis, but they're going to catch him.
Oh
Kind
gosh,
of.
here comes Smash. That's not the one you wanted to go on. Fogged gonna go down, takes an arrow to the face, and now there's gonna be a beautiful vacuum wall combo, but it's not enough. Requiem of the
over.
Souls has been used. This team fight looking like it's firmly in favor, and there is the GG call. We're going to a game 3. That was a beautiful freezing field as well. It was so shiny. Smash still going all over people's faces. Final thoughts on the game as we watch some... Oh, drone explodes. Final thoughts?
I want to know what the hell happened in Game 1, because this looked very convincing. It's not all the time that we get to see an Ember Spirit go out of control to this degree, but for High Council, like, what happened in Game 1? I really want to know, and I just can't, so that's gonna kill me until we actually can't.
The hero picks are on up somewhere now. I saw them, so we can maybe take a look at that in between. In the meantime, once again, folks, I'm Llama Down Under. Would love your feedback on how to get better. Joined by the wonderful Mikelorus.
It was a Huskar. That explains a lot.
Okay, yeah, that now we know. So we can both be found on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, under those names. You can see them. They're on the screen. Would love your feedback. We're going to try to get you right quick into Game 3 to decide who stays in this upper bracket and who drops down. And we're going to go to some videos whose sound, I believe, has been normalized. See you shortly.